What's happening? Boy Gunner back at y'all again with another Black Ops Band Dog TV. You know, the first order of business is and always is building leaders and creating kings operation by building national development over generation. And with that, I'm gonna make this one real quick. I ain't gonna take too much time on it at all. But it's something that's on my heart, something that's on me. A few things I guess I've been going through. Or not necessarily that I've been going through, but something that I've been dealing with. And ultimately, let's get right to it. Bottom line up front, problem that I have is dealing with folk and dealing with their attitudes, having to deal with their attitudes, not truly knowing who they are from day to day, or knowing exactly who they are from day to day and still trying to cope with how to deal with them because you have some sort of relationship with them, whether it's family members, you know, whether it's wife, kids, or whether it's co-workers or somebody that works for you. Like, it's so many different relationships that I'm dealing with right now and trying to build and manage that I'm literally coming to y'all not to give you something, more so to ask. How do you deal with all of these different things and truly manage it on what I would consider professional level? I gotta be honest with you. I'm a hooligan. I've been a hooligan my whole life. I've been hard, rough my whole life. You can dig anybody up from my past, they gonna tell you the same thing about me. That's always who I've been. So I say all that to say not to try to receive kudos for that or some sort of street cred. It's not about that. The point of me saying that is I've always handled it a certain way, and now I'm in a certain realm or an arena where it can't be handled in that manner. I have to show and be something different. I'm praising and preaching something different, or if not preaching, but teaching something different, or at least calling for something different. And only thing left toward is to do it. You know the saying, it ain't nothing toward but to do it. Only thing left toward is to do it, and it's easier said than done on certain days because you come across and you deal with and you manage so many different individuals with so many different individual positions on life or so many different attitudes. That's the conversation on the topic of the day. Attitudes and what we deal with on a regular. How we deal with individuals and their attitudes, their personalities, their personas, and how to best manage them. You gotta deal with it from a boss perspective. When you have individuals that work for you, they know they work for you, but they still have different shit that they got going on in their lives that they're dealing with. Or you may have a coworker, you may be his manager or her manager, and they're working for you, or if not necessarily for you, because I'm a firm believer, like on a job, like especially with certain roles, it's not necessarily that we work for an individual, we work together for a collective, but we'll get to that later on. The biggest thing is individuals that work under you or work with you or whatever it is, when we dealing with life, what I try to explain to individuals that I work with and that I've worked with over the years is that the personal things that we go on in life is never going to stop. Let's be clear on that. It's never going to stop. It's always going to be something. It's always going to be something that's going on. It's always going to be something that's happening. It's always going to be something that makes you mad. It's always going to be something that makes you happy, sad, whatever the emotion may be. It's always going to be something that affects your mood. But I'm a firm believer in whatever it is, that something is that you go through on a regular basis and never dictate your pace in your environment of business. Whether it's truly business endeavor. Everything is business. Everything is sales. Everything that we do in life is based on business. It's standing on business. If you ain't standing on business, what the fuck is you doing? Regardless of whatever it is you're dealing with, if you're not standing on business, what you doing? And what you doing it for? What we talking about? We go through things in life that based on our interpretation, based on how we grew up, based on the circumstances surrounding us as we went through those certain stages in our life, that those stages and those things that we've gone through, it molded us. It forged us into who we are today. And the question I'm asking ultimately is, why do we as people feel as if, as a people, feel as if anger and aggression is the best way to handle things? And that's a stretch for me. I need y'all to understand that, because I'm not angry, but I'm highly aggressive. And again, I ain't trying to say this to try to, big myself up. Anybody that know me know what it is. I'm not talking to slick talk or try to be half a slick. Anybody that know me know what it is. Anybody that know me know what it is. That's neither here nor there. But I reached a point where, at least in certain arenas or certain avenues, that no longer serves me. And when I get that, it bothered me deeply. It bothered me deeply. When I get certain attitudes or certain aggression that I know otherwise, if we was in a certain atmosphere or a certain arena, you wouldn't even really talk to me like that. You wouldn't go, you ain't going bad like that. And that's not even to say that this is something I deal with on a regular. The biggest thing that I'm bringing forward, I think, I'm just rambling, but the biggest thing that I'm bringing forward right now is just being responsible and having an understanding and a firm understanding and an ability to be able to handle and deal with your emotions. Understand the importance behind dealing with your emotions, because you never know what the next man and or woman is dealing with, what they're going through that may ultimately bring about your demise, or something a little lesser than your demise, that bring some sort of hurt, harm, or danger to whatever it is that you have going on. And if it's not lucrative to what you have going on, then why even indulge in it? Why even indulge in it? Learn to manage, especially men. Especially men. If there's a problem that I have, it's emotional, man. I have a problem, deeply rooted issue with men that are overly emotional. That's not to say that we're supposed to be careless. That's not to suggest that we're supposed to give no fucks, as they would say. Excuse my language on here, but that's not to say that that's what we're supposed to. That's how we're supposed to be. That's not to suggest that. But in the same sense, as a man, as a firm, hard man, should learn to practice. If not anything else, we should learn to practice being a stoic man. Learning when all of those emotions come about, and they will. And they may on a regular basis. On the inside, you deal with it. On the outside, you cool, calm, and collected. And I know that's also something we deal with, because oftentimes from, certain individuals that I hear from or that I talk to, they say that they're keeping everything compressed and things of that nature, and oftentimes lead to eruption and a whole bunch of other things. And that very well may be true, but the thing is finding outlets for it. It don't mean that you gotta always go have that, woe is me section and you on the couch, and sometimes that may work for individuals. I ain't knocking anybody behind it. Trust me when I tell you. If that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do in order to get you greater. Understand and have a firm understanding on what moves and maneuvers, the certain things that you got going on in your life, and the best way to get to whatever it is that you're trying to get to, the best way to attain whatever it is that you're trying to attain. That's what I'm saying. I mean it when I say it. But in the same sense, the biggest thing beyond anything else is finding something for you to do. Finding something that sets you apart. Finding something that does something for you physically, emotionally, and mentally. Something that stimulates you that much that it takes you away from there. At this stage and this age in my life, I'm too busy to be angry. I'm too busy to be emotional. And I mean it when I say it. I mean it when I say I'm too busy. I got too much going on in my life for me to sit around and be angry, or it's not that I don't get angry. I don't want to send that false narrative by any stretch. It's not that I don't get angry. I cannot dwell on that anger. It happened, or whatever happened, it's that right then and there, and I move on it. I don't even much think about it no more. My family, they have said several times I was careless, but it's really not that. It's not that I'm careless. I care deeply. I love deeply. And that's ultimately the reason why I am how I am, because I love and I care so deeply that I know certain times the way my anger is set up, I don't want to go to the level that I'm prepared to go to, or that my mind sometimes take me to. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm a firm believer in, it's not the violence that set the man apart. It's the distance that he's prepared to go. I know me. I know me. And the distance that I'm prepared to go. So ultimately, the thing that I'm trying to figure out, or the thing that I'm trying to get down to, is how do we become better? How do we do better? How do we set the bar or set ourselves apart from the average male and or female, that we're able to be better, that we're able to show better, that we're able to give better, that we're able to